All right, today I'm going to get into something that I came across this past week or whatever. My dad introduced me to an episode on Mike Rowe, the way I heard it. So he listens to that podcast. So I don't normally do, but he did introduce me to an episode where they had on Scott Strode, who's founder of a relatively new program called the Phoenix, and now it's been in existence for I want to say 20 years, but I'm probably wrong, but it has something like 190,000 members and everything. So what interests me is when they started a stat they shared was that they have an 87% success rate for getting people sober for 3 months. So obviously that's a good number. Of course, it's you have to take it in the context. That's a number they shared, and it's 3 months and everything. So it's a 3 months. You're now just start when in recovery. Now you're just starting to get that out of that alcohol or drug induced brain fog and everything. So now, yeah, and that I'm basing off on my own personal experience. So that's more of anecdotal evidence. So, but with the 3 months, like I said, you're just now getting out of the alcohol and or drug induced brain fog, and so now you're just starting to think clearly, and comparing it to a smart recovery, you're still building your motivation. You're still trying to control your urges, and you're getting your thoughts, emotions, and behaviors in order so you can live the balanced life and everything. So what was kind of cool is that Scott Strode of course is someone who is has or is recovering from addiction, depending on how you look at it. So I'm more of the mind that once you get everything in order, and to kind of compare it against a smart recovery, once you get through all the 4 points and everything, and you're continuing on with that and everything, you've in a sense recovered, even though technically and other things they say especially AA the being the Debbie Downer type of program that I view it as they always put that negative label once an alcoholic always an alcoholic. Sure, those old behaviors and everything can always come back and everything, even after years and everything. So unlike AA, other programs tend to, especially smart recovery, they tend not to look at using those negative terminologies I'm a worthless alcoholic, or I'm just a junkie or whatever. So but with the Phoenix or whatever, what was kind of interesting is that the founder Scott Strode kind of used a method similar to what I did. He used physical fitness and kind of used that road to recovery and everything. So and what they do is they use a 48-hour rule. So if you want to go on a hike or whatever, they have you worry about getting 48 hours of sober times or a clean time so you can go on the hike and everything. And so you can with going on hikes and everything, you can get into other stuff, I know I've mentioned Norse mentality, and they've talked about going on hikes a lot, and it's great. It's a great way of connecting with nature to help clear your mind and not only get physically active and everything, but with that 48-hour window or whatever, you can get in a sense kind of get sober, go on the hike, and then in a sense connect with the people through this organization. So because especially doing with my video on support groups, which is in a sense pillar number one, your community, with that the 7 pillars of Soulnormous. Community is important because you are the saying you are the average of the 5 people you surround yourself with. So the happy hour analogy I like to use, if you're going out to happy hour on Friday night, chances are the 5 people you're surrounding yourself with are sitting there getting drunk and pissing, moaning, complaining about their lives and how terrible it is and everything. So you're pretty much going to be that same type of person that's going to be negative all the time and like constantly complaining and bitching and moaning about like stuff that's not going your way. Now instead, like to flip it, like instead of going to happy hour on Friday, you're going out to the gym, or like maybe you got a cycling class, or like maybe you're into martial arts or whatever, and you go to like you got a jujitsu class or Muay Thai or whatever. You go to that, and like the people that you're surrounding yourself with in those instances are type of people that are in that mindset of constantly improving themselves, so they can turn around and improve the people around them, and in a sense improve the community in their area and everything. So like they have there's the app called the phoenix.org and everything. So like so like nowadays, like with like online, that is the internet is a great tool for being able to find stuff and everything. So like whereas maybe 20 years ago, like you had like programs like AA who had like a stranglehold on pretty much like their corner of recovery and everything, where like you could say like AA was like the one and only way. But now, like I said, with the internet, you can actually go searching for other like resources or other ways of recovery and everything. So like this program, the Phoenix, is like another just another way to be able to like find a path that like actually leads to people actually recovering and everything. So like now listening to like the most recent Quackaholics Anonymous video, like, and I mentioned that like I do think that like that AA is pretty much on the way out, like the way of the dodo bird, because you have these other options. Whereas like I said, 20 years ago, like with the internet in a sense in its infancy, you didn't necessarily have like the tools or the resources to be able to use the internet to find stuff, to like be able to like find other ways. You might have been find like an article or two like that might have been like kind of like critical and passing of like a AA or whatever. But now like you have like all these other websites like that you can go to, like I mentioned with this Phoenix program. You can go to the phoenix.org, or you can go to like like I've mentioned in a previous video, the Smart Recovery app. So like you can pretty much go online, like especially here on like YouTube. Like you can sit like I mean, sure, like there's the negative connotation, like, oh hey, look, you went to YouTube University, so you must be a smarty pants and everything. So like while you may not necessarily become an expert in any subject matter by just watching YouTube videos, what YouTube videos and like other sources of like you could use social media as well. Like I mean, of course, like all social media kind of has like I got into like this with the blessing and curse of social media video, is that like, yeah, you have to kind of trudge through like a lot of bullshit and everything that's online and everything, but you can also find stuff that is well worth like your time. Like I know like other videos I've done one on Athlete X, I've done one on Bioneer. I'll mention the Norse mentality again. So like you have resources that you can find on the internet that you can research a topic. So like for instance, like recovery, like this Phoenix program, like you can like go online, go to the app or the website and everything, and start learning about it, like and find out like, oh hey, this might be for me, or like it might lead you to like a smart recovery, like I usually like mention a lot in what I'm focusing on. Or it could lead you to the other like many other ones. Like there's a Reach Out Recovery, there's Rational Recovery, there's SOS, which is the Secular Organizations of Sobriety and everything. So like there's like a lot of other resources that like you can find that like whereas like you don't necessarily have to go to the religious route that AA is a proponent of, or like you pretty much have to have like a spiritual experience, and like all the suggestions that they do that pretty much are in a sense like mandates where you have to do them and everything, like even though like they are suggestions. But like so whereas like with these other programs, like you can kind of map your own path and everything and find like what program works best for you. So like of course, first and foremost, like you're going to want to work with like a medical team, like a therapist, a counselor, or like a or like if you're someone in the position where you've become physically dependent on like alcohol or drugs and everything, you might have to you're someone who might have to go through inpatient and detox and everything. So like what you have to do is take your unique situation on like your recovery and look at like, okay, this is where I'm at. This is like I'm where what kind of resources can I use to like get away from my addictive behaviors and everything. So now there are some people that can go like after like a year or two or several years, like go back to maybe like moderate and everything. So that's one route for people to go and everything. But like for someone like me, going that way it's not for me. So like, but it's like something to keep in mind for your unique situation. So like with anything, like you gotta like take the information and apply it to your situation, so that way you can move forward and actually get better and pretty much put your addictive behaviors in the rear view mirror. So like I said, this one, like I wanted to introduce like the Phoenix program, which was like again by Scott Strode, and like it apparently has, like I said, 190,000 members, and like it's I listened to like the micro the way I heard it podcast, and like I want to say it's episode 306 and everything. So like even though it's, like I said, it's not a podcast I necessarily listen to. My dad mentioned it to me, and I did listen to it this last week and everything. So like that episode is definitely worth a listen. So like it could be something else that like people could look into, and to be able to find a better solution than like maybe like organizations like AA, or like it could be something different than like what I use with Smart Recovery and everything. So like it's just another thing that you can use to look into for your recovery.